opening announcement. Adequate public notice of this meeting was provided by the Secretary of the Board on April 10, 2017 to the Home News Tribune and the Clerk of the City of New Brunswick. The time and location of this meeting and all meetings of this body are posted in City Hall, 78 Byron Street in New Brunswick. Roll call, please.
Mr. Hush. Mr. Ortiz.
Here.
Mrs. Sadowski.
Here.
Mrs. Shukaitis.
Here.
Mrs. Solis.
Here.
Mr. Spencer. Ms. Varela.
Mr. Hush.
Here.
Mr. Spencer.
Here. Mrs. here. Mr. Spencer is here. Dr. Caldwell.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Wonderful, thank you. Please rise for the flag salute. Dr. Superintendent.
Ready, salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, item number 3 on the agenda, is there a motion to appoint Richard D. Janneron, Business Administrator, Board Secretary, as temporary chairperson of the reorganization meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Hush.
Yes.
Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Mrs. Sadowski.
Yes.
Mrs. Shukaitis.
Yes.
Mrs. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
Ms. Varela. Dr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Motion approved. Yes, thank you very much. The first order of business is the announcements of the official results of the elections.
I've been advised by the court that there's a recount application filed, so there will be a recount, so there's no announcement of official election results. We should have them by either late tomorrow or Monday, and I'll let the business administrator and the president and the board know.
Okay, so we will then move on to the election of the board president. Do I have any nominations for board president?
I nominate Dr. Caldwell to be the board president.
Second.
Is there any other nominations? Okay, seeing none, then we will have a vote for Dr. Caldwell for board president. Mr. Hush?
Yes.
Mr. Ortiz?
Yes.
Mrs. Sadowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Shukaitis?
Yes.
Mrs. Solis?
Yes.
Mr. Spencer?
Yes.
Dr. Caldwell?
Yes.
Motion approved. Congratulations, Dr. Caldwell.
Thank you all very, very much. We await the recount and see what happens, but thanks for your confidence. Now, I'd like to take a nomination for the election of Vice President. Is there a nomination?
I nominate Anita Ortiz for Vice President.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any other nominations? Hearing none, Rich, you do the roll call.
Mr. Hush?
Yes.
Mr. Ortiz?
Yes.
Mrs. Sadowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Shukaitis?
Yes.
Mrs. Solis?
Yes.
Mr. Spencer?
Yes.
Dr. Caldwell?
Yes, enthusiastic.
Motion approved. Congratulations. Mr. Ortiz.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, if any of you want to move now or next meeting over here, so I can pinch you. Item number 7, the election of the representative to the Representative Assembly of the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Nominate somebody? Motion to nominate somebody?
Nominate Dale Dr. Caldwell.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Any other nominations? Hearing none, roll call.
Mr. Hush?
Yes.
Mr. Ortiz?
Yes.
Mrs. Sadowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Shukaitis?
Yes.
Mrs. Solis?
Yes.
Mr. Spencer?
Yes.
Dr. Caldwell?
Thank you. And again,
Yes.
thank you.
Motion approved.
It's the board's attorney that rather than do all the motions individually unless there's objection. Someone on the board should move all the appointments 8 through 52.
So moved.
Second, is there a second?
Second.
Then there should be any discussion by the board on any appointment of anybody on the list of 8 through 52.
You've all seen this. Any discussion on that before we take roll call? Hearing none. Mr. General?
Mr. Hush.
Yes.
Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Mrs. Sadowski.
Yes.
Mrs. Shukaitis.
Yes.
Mrs. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
Dr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Excellent. Now, item number 53, we have an opportunity for some public comments. Are there any comments from the public? Hearing none, we'll, I'm quicker than ever now, you know. You gotta move quicker, Charlie.
Good evening, members of the board. It's an honor and a pleasure to address you tonight. I have some questions about the resolutions you just passed. My name is Charles Cradaville. I'm from New Brunswick. I'm the editor of New Brunswick Today. I'd like to know, first of all, about 11 and 12, the health insurance contracts. Can you tell me, to what degree the board shopped around to get the best deal and how you ended up with these two firms, Public Synergies and Solis McCormick?
General?
Public Synergies has been our health insurance broker for, I'm not sure how many years now, and they've worked very closely with us, with Cigna and through negotiations. So we did not do an RFP to procure their services. They're appointed under professional services, and we feel they've served us very well in the past. Solis McCormick is also our insurance broker for liability insurance. And they have been our broker for years, and we have also appointed them via professional services, and we did not do a RFP for any additional brokers.
Gotcha. Regarding number 22, I see you're re-adopting your existing board policies. While that makes sense, I'll take the opportunity to once again ask you to revisit the board policy about recording the meetings. I think it makes sense for, in the event, which might happen one day that I can't make it to the meeting or one of the team members at New Brunswick Today can't make it, I think it's in the board's best interest to have a proper record of exactly what was said at the meeting. And if you are shy of being on video, you can at least make an audio record. And I know that certain boards do that, like the Planning and Zoning Board, and they do it for a good reason. So I think that certainly a lot of the presentations here are positive and good things that you want to share with the community. I think you have nothing to hide by putting these meetings on the public television and on YouTube and on the internet in general. I think it's something you should revisit. I know it's been not an area where we agree, but I encourage you to revisit it. Regarding 43, the schedule of board meetings, I see a meeting on it looks like the third Tuesday of April next year. I've been raising concerns about scheduling board meetings that would conflict with the election. I wanted to ask respectfully if you would consider changing that. If I'm not mistaken, that's going to happen again if you don't make a change. And could I get an answer on that?
Take it under advisement.
Okay, I appreciate that. Number 44, I'd like to understand a little more about this, as well as I guess the one beneath it is also a third-party administrator. I'd like to just understand what that means and what types of services these are that I don't see the company on number 44, but 45 is PennServe. I'd just like to know what services those are.
Mr. General?
Just give me a quick second here. Sure. Okay. Number 44, the company is OCA Benefit Services. We have a flexible spending plan, which is where employees can take payroll deductions directly without paying taxes to pay for certain health coverage charges that they have to pay out of their pocket. So a flexible spending plan. OCA is our third-party administrator who administers that plan for us. So people put in money out of their paycheck, and then bills need to get paid, and they process all those claims through for all the employees.
And they've been doing that for a while?
We've had them about, since we opened the flexible spending plan, anywhere from 3 to 5 years. Okay. PennServe is our third-party administrator for 403B plans and 457. In public education, you don't have an IRA, a 401k, you have a 403B or a 457. PennServe is a third-party administrator. And by the way, neither one of these companies cost the board funds. They're paid through the employees' contributions. PennServe, the third-party administrator, we have about 10 to 12 different companies that employees can invest in, offering different products, and they're the third-party administrator to ensure that we are in compliance with all the regulations through the IRS for taxable or non-taxable deductions from our paychecks into those plans.
Thank you for the thorough answers. Last one I want to ask about number 50. I see there's a homeless liaison. I want to know if that position's new, and I also saw there's a new policy being adopted. In that same vein, can you tell me a little bit about what the public can expect this person to do and this role to be?
Mr. President, Mr. Superintendent, members of the board, the homeless liaison is not a new position. It has been with this district for several years. The homeless liaison is in charge of monitoring the outflow and the income of students that come into the district.
Thank you. And I guess the policy's on your agenda for the 7 p.m. meeting, so I'll ask about it then. Thank you very much for your time.
Mr. President. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. Roll call.
Mr. Hush?
Yes.
Mr. Ortiz?
Yes.
Mrs. Sadowski?
Yes.
Mrs. Shakaitis?
Yes.
Mrs. Solis?
Yes.
Mr. Spencer?
Yes.
Dr. Caldwell?
Yes.
We are adjourned.
Adjourn at 7.